Hi, this is Dallas Quinley, and I'm going to be doing a eulogy thing for my dad, Dallas Quinley, senior. Well, not really senior, but that was his name also. And so I won't be able to do it at the funeral, and I'll just do it here on YouTube and post it for those who want to see it. First of all, I wanted to talk about not as my dad about the person, but rather about his spiritual growth over the last 5 years, um, which started at the time of his stroke, what some would call a time of tribulation. Now, the word tribulation is understood in Hebrew as a tightening or pressing together or to make narrow. This is how they understand the straight and narrow path, as one of tribulation that presses a person, what some would call suffering, yet Romans 5:3 says it is through suffering or tribulation that we are able to produce endurance. Matthew 7 says that the narrow way leads to life. Through trials and tribulation, God molds us into the better people that we need to become. If we never face trials and tribulations, we easily stray from God's path. And if these tribulations that lead to life and Dad's stroke was a path that led him to seek God more intensely and also to seek forgiveness from others as well as from God. So we could view this as a path that began his way to a physical death. But it was also a path that led him to spiritual life. This is why we are called Israel. When we are grafted into Israel, we are not becoming Jews or another race. Israel is a spiritual people. Paul says we were once part of the world, but then we were grafted into Israel in order to be partakers of the covenant. The new covenant made with Israel and Judah, and so salvation is offered to everyone. We see this in the example of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt, because it wasn't just Israelites or Jews that were saved, but Egyptians, Gentiles, and every kinds of people from every nation who obeyed the voice of God and put the Passover above his door. They were also called Israel. And the word Israel means one who struggles with God. Every believer first struggles with God because he tries to do things his own way. And through more struggles, God starts to shape us into men like Jacob, who wrestled with Esau, the man with the face of God. Esau, seeing Jacob, had changed. He was no longer the man who tricked Esau or other family members. He was part of Israel. He was Israel. He struggled with God and changed for the better. So Dad was no longer the person he was when I was growing up. He fought with God, and through his trials he became like Jacob and saved. Actually, salvation is to be in covenant with God, to endure to the end, lest we be cut off like a branch from the olive tree that we were grafted into. So we can see Dad had grafted into the family of God, the spiritual family called Israel, in covenant, seeking the spiritual things of God and learning and asking questions. But now he has a new body, a spiritual body, and a body that is a temple for the presence of God forever. So may God cover our many sins with love and give us much grace. And that was what I wanted to say about my dad and his spiritual growth over the last 5 years. And rest in peace.